Please note that the views and opinions expressed by our hosts and guests are their own and do not reflect the official policy of Spectacular Podcast. The content provided is for informational and entertainment purposes only and does not constitute professional advice. Always seek the guidance of qualified professionals for specific issues. Listener discretion is advised for sensitive topics. By listening, you agree to release Spectacular Podcast from any liability for any loss or damage.
Welcome to another episode of the Spectacular Podcast, and I am your host, Daniela T, alongside Bennett Mesu. It is with great sadness that we are saying goodbye to a legend, Connie Chihoumi, during the month of women.
Yeah, funny enough, today we are going to talk about women empowerment since it's Women's Month, and on the 9th, tomorrow, actually, it's Women's Day, and we lost her, I think, yesterday on the 7th of August. And I think we should be using the day to celebrate her career and what she has done for the industry and acting industry and opening doors that our future actors can look up to, and yeah, it's sad,
It is really sad. Another dream crushed. I really wanted to work with her, but it is what it is. Let's focus on the topic at hand, right?
Yeah, women.
So, feminism, where are we regarding that conversation?
Well, I think in South Africa we still have a long way to go when it comes to feminism, but then I think in America it's toxic. In South Africa, it's not as toxic as in America, because here we have a lot of things that are affecting feminism because we have our cultures and our traditions and our parenting styles. They don't always promote feminism because of how the girls are brought up.
I
Yeah.
agree. I
Yeah.
really agree. Imagine girls are playing with dolls, learning how to raise kids, while we guys play with cars. And you see it in real life, man,
Yeah.
where women grow up to be great mothers and the fathers are deadbeats and missing in action. Some of them don't even own the cars they used to play with as kids. So it's really sad. But I think that could be sorted out the moment we allow guys or male children to also play with dolls. I know it's a bit offish looking at it, but you're gonna be a dad one day. Why
Yeah.
not? I think it's only fair that you are conditioned at a young age where one day you're gonna be a dad.
No, but then I don't think girls, boys, should be playing with dolls, because remember, growing up, we had that playground thingy, playing house. I think that's where it starts. That's where we should be allowing kids to play, but then not to some extent, because I think that's where you see, and it creates the mindset of togetherness. Playing together with girls, and you see them as equal, because growing up you see them as someone that you can work together, you can build something with a girl, because if we don't do that, you get a boy child who doesn't see anything wrong with having sex with a girl and then running away, and then the boy child doesn't have a father.
Story of our lives. Man.
Yeah.
It's really sad. But yeah, man, I think feminism is losing the plot. At first, it was a good initiative where we were fighting for equal rights when it comes to women. But now, it's like a spectacle. It's about getting followers. Looking at our influencers, the girls we have on social media, they are the people at the forefront. When you ask a little girl what feminism is all about, they'll tell you about a Mihlali, a Sayin Bougie, and those people are not really
A role model.
Yeah, no, role model material.
Yeah.
And I say this with the greatest respect. I feel like you're allowed as a human being or as a public figure to make your mistakes, right?
Yeah.
To a certain degree. But when you have people like Bosesi Sayen, as they
Yeah.
call her, nah, she's all about the bag
Yeah.
and dating for money,
Mm.
telling girls, young girls, that I got 50K
Yeah.
every week. You know, girls end up aspiring to an unrealistic
Yeah.
view when it comes to relationships. Because how many men
Yeah.
can give you 50K a week?
Well, I think that's for experience, yeah. But then speaking of our influences, what I've also realized is that they do have an impact of how girls view themselves. But then what I've also realized is that the same girls that you're trying to influence, trying to motivate that they can achieve anything they put their minds to, they're the same girls that can take each other down. Because you get Lerato Kganyago. She did a podcast with DJ Fresh, and she was saying that South Africans don't support a pet business. And then she went online later on, live on Instagram, and then she was reading the comments of people who were rude to her, mostly women. And they were talking about her miscarriages and everything that, like, it was, they were basing her rudeness as to why she's not having babies or why she's not able to have babies, you know. And I'm not saying that we should empower women, whatever they do, but then also we should remember that before she's an influencer, she's a human being. You know, and I don't approve some of the things that she does, but I think that we should also consider their feelings as well.
You know, to be honest,
Yeah.
I feel like celebrities need to be held accountable. You need to know, as a public figure, Jorge, I'm going to be a public figure, and at some point I'm going to lose my privacy. Now, with great
Power.
great influence
Yeah.
comes great amount of responsibility, which means you can't afford to mess up and be, oh, remember, I'm a human. Because this is part of what you do. Unfortunately, people don't care how human
But
you
then
are.
I disagree with that, because we cannot sell perfection, you know, whether we like it or not.
Beyonce does.
No, she's
She
no.
does. She
No,
does.
no, because now she's trying to appear as if that she's relatable, whereas she's not. Because look at her. She has a husband and children.
Why are you laughing?
Because he cheated. him cheating.
Most guys cheat, man.
No,
There's
but then
nothing weird about guys cheating these days.
Wait, if we're going to say that she's perfect, if she was perfect, he wouldn't cheat.
Yeah,
the fact
that's true, but she is upholding a brand. You must remember that Jay-Z is not dating Beyonce the brand, but Beyonce the human
He's
being.
dating both. He's dating both because he does gain something from Beyonce the brand.
True that, but no matter how perfect you are, if a man wants to cheat, they will cheat. That's just the truth.
No, I don't think.
How many women do you look at and you're like, they're perfect, and then you find out what Kidisa cheeky or Bonamichali, for example. I feel like I'm allowed to call her a side chick.
Yeah,
It doesn't make sense to be dating a guy who's not done, got divorced high, and then you want to come out and say, no, but I'm not the cause of it. No one cares.
Okay, let me ask
Oksalayo.
Let me ask you this. Do you think when it comes to women, that thing of each dog for itself, it applies more than it does when it comes to us guys.
More than it comes to
When it comes to us guys, because like you just said, you get Michelle and then Leroy, and then the divorce is not done, and then she's dating the guy. But then when it comes to us, do you think a guy would date a girl knowing that there's another guy?
Man, that's hectic. I feel like guys have more pride than women when it comes to that particular subject. And I'll tell you why. A guy or Jolande, a girl, I do Kelona de Moto means Baba to benefit or something. Ain't no way I'm dating someone who's seeing someone else.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
Yeah.
But when it comes to women, it's like, man.
Yeah.
They don't respect each other whatsoever. Like, you cannot be a side chick or wanna be a side chick. Woman empowerment.
Oh, yeah.
For me, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And most of them, when you ask them, why do you guys do what you do? They're like, no, I don't owe the other woman loyalty. The man does. But my thing is, as long as there's a market for men to find side chicks, they will find side chicks. Because I feel like women are the very same enablers.
Yeah.
They enable men to go do what they do, and then at the end of the day, they want to complain. You may, for example, how nyala le motho o cheat. I almost used vulgar.
Yeah.
And then, and then all of a sudden you think it's gonna change just because you put a ring on it.
Yeah.
Why are you out here complaining? It's like this woman, for example, Bob the Builder. So there's this woman that was married to the guy who owned Drip.
Okay.
Remember, there was a story, her liquidation with Drip, the footwear. Right? The story comes out and she says they're going through a divorce. Now, how Mamela stood? Guy and unemployed, they got married.
Yeah.
Girl go funded the business. When the farm, when shoe brand, get high. Basically, the guy was just working, and obviously I get it already. Now you guys are married, so as the woman, you think you're empowering your husband.
Yeah.
But now, wabona the gender roles, durable because you're an alpha female. Spanning accountant vibes. How fit are going to? You should know you're a wife. You must submit. The next thing, or what we get alpha female, Muntu or Bob the Builder.
No, but then wait. I don't know how true it is because
it is true.
Wait, I don't know how much of it is true because it seems like the guy used to stay Habunganyana, and she was the breadwinner.
Yes.
And then if the female is the breadwinner, how do you expect her to be submissive to you if she's the breadwinner? Because remember, growing up as a young boy, you are raised up with the mentality that you are the breadwinner. You have to protect a woman. You have to provide. And now she's doing the providing.
Exactly my point.
How do you expect her to...
That's where the problem is. Why onyala muthusa who provide as a female? It's because of this whole feminism thing. I'm an independent woman. I can do it whether he does or he doesn't.
No.
No,
But then some women believe that thing, otro popa.
Hey, yo, upopile got your dad.
Yeah.
After that, they go into serious fights and they get to a divorce. The guy says, the husband says, the nerve. Girl okubore umpatele rent umpe property. She says nothing about the businesses. I'm like, hi, Bob the Builder, Dom. And now people are busy burning their Drip, boycotting the brand because of this, of the wife. And I'm like, you're 1,000 rand. You already paid. understand? First, I could say, why would you burn it?
But then remember that when we buy something, we buy it because of what it stands for.
Hey, Yamada, why burn it? You've already lost your 1,000 rand. It's not like how he's gonna lose his money. He already made the sale.
He's gonna lose it.
Yeah, long term.
Yeah.
But guys, they put us in awkward situations. And when it comes to feminists, I always ask, okay, we say women can do what guys can do. Okay. Samospana fiction. Yes, they do, right? Women do. But are their bodies designed to do that? Like compare Mosadi, dog.
No, they're not. No, they're not built for that because do you remember story Sarcastas me? She was, I think it was testosterone. Yeah, that's the word. Hers compared to normal females, hers is higher. You know, so I think she would be more qualified to do a man's work compared to a normal female, you know. And I think it's because of that. But then other than that, if you look at a female and then she was raised in an environment whereby she's allowed to do a man's work, I think the minute she reaches 30 years, she would be able to kenika your car and do construction work.
Now I feel like when this thing you have 50-50, guys, let's get away with it. It's not working. Basadi and Nabasadi. And I mean this respectfully. I'm not saying there should be women or anything like that.
Yeah.
I'm saying, sharp, go for your qualifications, be an accountant. Marimontung. You must know.
I think, wait, don't you think if the 50-50 only applies to opportunities, not relationship?
Yes, true.
Because the reason of the 1956 march, it was to ensure that women are offered the same opportunities as us, and then they get equal pay, you know.
Yes.
And then I think when it comes to relationships, I think that's when you get someone who's submissive if you're a man, and then you do get submissive men.
I've heard someone complain, she's
about
female, in the workplace. Like, if you are egocentric, it shows up even in your workplace, where she's had to humble herself, be aware of how she addresses her boss, because he's a man, and in the moment you want to show people when you're an educated woman, sometimes it becomes a problem, depending on who it lands on, obviously. But when in the workplace, that shouldn't be a problem. Mari 50-50. Woman, this 50-50 situation, I really don't get it, man. And I'm going back to it because I feel like it makes men lazy to provide. Like, I feel like because of this 50-50, men don't understand the beauty of being men. Like, they don't find joy in providing. But if you say, provide for me, hi.
But then, okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. What defines a man? Because right now, what defines a man is the traditions that we were brought up with. So whatever that we're doing now, it's something that we were raised with. Because looking back, there's a huge gap of patriarchy and feminism. And then a woman is supposed to stay at home, and then the man has to go out and work. And from what you're saying, you want it to be like that.
No. I'm saying women are allowed to go and work.
Okay.
Go and kill your career. Personally, I find alpha females attractive. Not my kind of scene. Right. And that's because I've come to terms with the fact that I'm a man.
Mm.
And going back to your question,
Mm.
for me, what defines being a man is you need to be able to fuse masculinity with your feminine side.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why I say so. How to, as a man, as a straight man,
Yeah.
how to do the monomo. So you must be able to reason from a feminine side. Men hardly use their emotions to make decisions. But when it comes to conversations with women, we should be able to do that, right? While holding it down on the masculine side.
Yeah.
So what's the masculine side for? The masculine side is for protecting, providing, and I think have some respect. Men don't have respect right now.
Yeah.
I feel like they really don't.
But then I think we cannot expect men to show their feminine side, because at the same time where we say men should show their feminine side, women are saying that I miss masculine men. The toxic masculinity, that's something that they miss. And now if a man goes on and say, I'm depressed and this is what I'm dealing with and this is heavy for me, the first thing that women say, "Aksindoda," asimana, those words or those statements are thrown around like it's nothing. So we cannot expect men to show emotions, whereas women themselves, they do not want that or embrace it.
Okay, and you say there's a cry for help from the females to say they miss men,
Yeah.
masculine men. Now, I went back to clarify that statement, funny enough. And a woman said to me, Sharp, we can do the soft relationship, where you can be vulnerable with me. It's allowed. But the problem is now when you can't be assertive, that's a problem. Because a woman is there to feed into the vision you give to her.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I don't like about feminists. They've lied to say, no, we don't like hearing what men have to say. And all these people we see on social media are not even 1% of female population, right? So we follow these influencers because they're selling a certain lifestyle. You know, sharp, do what you do, we respect your hustle. But when it comes to relationships, when I'm Michelle, for example,
You love her.
she's there being abused, shame.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for her. But when it comes to her on social media, she'll say, don't let a man treat you like trash, type of thing. She's more likely to say that. Mari, now we're seeing screenshots where she's following Muna Omutrabang, understand? Omufonela.
75 times.
Yeah, understand?
Yeah.
So these people, on social media sell a certain brand. And it's a shame that the moment we hear the word influences, we think feminism. And I think, honestly, that gotta go, man, that gotta go.
And then, how do you think we should view it when it comes to Uncle feminism and then influencing? How do you think we should navigate the two?
Guys, we need to understand what influencing is, number one. I think the word has been tainted. The word influencer comes from social media marketing. I get, where even you as a guy, there's male influencers, right?
Yeah.
But because it's a female dominated industry, we're thinking influencer female. So social media marketing. A brand approaches you, you take the deal, you advertise for them, take your pictures, take whatever they require of you, you send them the content, they pay you. That's what influencing is. It has nothing to do with feminism. The moment we separate the two, the better. I feel like when it comes to feminism, now we need to move into the workplace.
Yeah. Do you think when we embrace feminism or try to empower women, we tend to forget about
the boy child?
Yeah.
Totally. It happens, man. We have this take a girl child to school that I never understood for the life of me. Because the fight, 1971.
1956.
Yeah, you know.
Can imagine, not a fight.
Yeah, you know. The march, right?
Yeah.
It was for equal rights. Now we're getting equal education. But now the problem is, now you want to overcompensate to the girl child and be like, hey, let's take you to work. Forgetting the boy child. And that's the problem I also have with feminism. Because we end up fighting for female rights to a point where it's like men are being invalidated.
Yeah.
Right? We don't need them.
But then the thing is, I've realized that boys get a lot of role models. There's a lot to choose from, and you know that anything is possible because you see it everywhere, every day. But when it comes to females, there are certain careers that you do not know whether you are unsure that you can achieve that.
I'm going to say the most controversial thing.
What?
The boy child doesn't know that anything is possible.
But then you see it every day.
Yeah. I say so. How many men are striving and how many men are still struggling despite of, I know it's possible. They don't know it's possible.
Okay, wait.
We know,
Yeah.
all we know as men is we can get away with murder. That's what we know. We know it's possible when it comes to relationships. You know, we know it's possible avoiding maintenance.
Yeah.
We don't know it's possible to be a better version of yourself. Females know that better than us. Because women who are striving are really striving compared to the men who are, you know.
But then don't you think the problem is that women were trained to work internally? Like that thing out begezela, that's something that you train yourself internally. You do not practice it outside of yourself.
Oh, can I please not have a daughter? My
and then when
daughter's
it comes to guys, I mean, like, you have to show strength, not internally, physically.
Hey, show strength with the right things. Don't be planting babies everywhere. That's internal.
Another thing that I want to ask you is this: who's the richest person in South Africa? Not the white ones.
In South Africa,
the black ones.
Okay,
I think Petrus Motsepe is one of them, and then
he's one.
Yeah,
he's not the richest.
And then what happens with
Isn't
women?
Rupert the richest?
He's white.
When did it become a race topic?
No, but then now, okay, we're empowering women, and then the race is there as well, and then it is
okay
because look at this. With us, we know Petrus Motsepe is the richest guy. Yeah. And then when you want to do something with your life and then you want to be the richest person, you have a role model. And then you don't have to do a research when it comes to that. You don't have to dig deep. But then when it comes to females, you have to dig deep. Like really deep. Yeah.
But then we have I don't know her name personally, but we have Makhe Bonang as the president once upon a time of, what was it? Was it Sasol or something like that?
How long did it take you to come up with that name?
The moment, I don't know her name, but I know
That's my point
the
exactly.
woman.
That's my point exactly. The minute you ask about a guy or a male,
Oh, we know the name.
you know the name. The person is on the tip of
I
your
get it.
tongue.
I was avoiding the celebrity.
No, we're not talking about
Hey,
celebrities.
yeah. Otherwise, I would have said Bonang.
Is she the richest?
She's not the richest, but she is rich. There is an example. And she
No.
educates young girls, because
No, but
when
then my problem is that when we go for popular people, we're talking about the things that they do in public. But then let's talk about a young girl who wants to do construction and then wants to be.
Hi, we have shown Chize for that.
But then she had her way of getting her wealth. It's not just construction.
Even as a man, you have your way of getting your stuff.
I know.
You're making it sound like we have it all easy.
But then our role models are there. It's easy to see them. And then females, it's not as easy.
So what would be your solution?
My first solution would be getting rid of the Women's Day. Because I think we shouldn't be having this conversation in 2024.
So you're saying let's do away?
Yeah, let's do that, because if we're going to say equal rights, equal opportunities, let's try not to overcompensate, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Let's treat everyone as equal. And if you go in for an interview, I think the fact that you're a woman, it shouldn't be an advantage. It shouldn't be a disadvantage. We should give you a job or an opportunity because of you can do it. You know?
Yeah. But yeah, Women's Day exists because of the march. What shall we say?
We should just celebrate that it happened, not try to use it as a weapon.
I think we should get a woman on the podcast.
Yeah, we should.
And have this conversation again and
Yeah.
see how they feel about it.
Yeah.
But for now, it is another goodbye for us. It's a wrap.
Yeah.